Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had a fantastic weekend so far. Today I thought we would give another nice and relaxing video, a bit of an ad hoc video, and the reason for it is I really want to answer one of the questions that I get asked the most at the moment, and that is, why is Cardano underperforming in comparison with many of the altcoins, and in actual fact Bitcoin. It's underperforming right now in the past month or so in comparison with a lot of the rest of the market, a lot of the other cryptos out there. And that's a question I want to try and answer in this video. And there are multiple of reasons, for example, why certain altcoins are pumping, whether that be due to their small market caps, whether that be due to the fact that they're new. And there's a number of fundamental reasons with Cardano potentially why it's not pumping in a similar manner. One straight off the bat, and I've got a video planned for you tomorrow in a lot more detail, is the fact that we have just had a hard fork. And this was the Shelly hard fork. You can see you get this period after the hard forks of kind of consolidation where you don't really do anything. This was the Byron hard fork. And this, of course, was the Alonso hard fork. The most significant hard fork that we've had today. And we are going to see a real explosion in regards to Cardano's price when we get those dApps and that kind of DeFi ecosystem up and running on Cardano. As I've already explained in previous videos, you're going to see a lot of the underlying token ALLIN get eaten up. So that's a fundamental reason. The hype on the run up to the hard forks is always very significant. And then you get this kind of period of consolidation. And just quickly, and I'm going to hint into tomorrow's video, typically if you look at what happens after hard forks, it's not a bad time to buy. And also when the markets are going sideways, it's not really a bad time to buy. If you look historically, whenever we've had sideways action, we're going to do it in more detail in tomorrow's video. But I really wanted to focus on what's going on with Cardano now, and the fact that it's underperforming, and give you some reasons why this may be in comparison with other coins, etc, etc. We're going to take a look at Solana. We're going to take a look at AVAX, Avalanche, and we're going to take a look at ETHEREUM, and of course we are going to look at ADA. And we're going to look at a wider view of things. So a year to date, since the start of the bull market, how well has it performed? We know it's underperforming now, but it's actually largely overperformed in regards to how well it's done in comparison with the start of the year. I mean, straight off the bat, today we're not really interested. What I want to do is I want to play around with some of the kind of filters on here, just to show you. We're going to get rid of the 24-hour and the weekly. And what we're going to do, we're going to actually move these around, guys, so that I can really put things into perspective. We're actually going to move the year to date. So let's take a look at that, guys, and it really kind of highlights that ADA recently is underperforming. Bitcoin's up 44% in 30 days. Ethereum is up 41%. Binance coin is up 37%. Cardano is down 3% and is actually down on the 60-day in comparison with a lot of the rest of the market. And this, of course, is it cause for concern? I don't really think so. We've seen this before with Cardano, and ultimately it does a lot in a little bit of time. But if you look at the rest of the market, very few coins are actually down on the 60 days. Sorry, you do have a few, but ultimately Cardano is down pretty significantly in comparison with the rest of the market. Now, why is it that you're getting coins? Before we go on to the next the subject that I want to talk about. If you look on the year to date, Cardano is actually doing pretty well. It's outperformed Bitcoin, Ethereum. It's pretty much on par with Binance coin. And Binance coin has seen such a rise in price. One reason you're seeing things like Solana and Avalanche pump is because they're new. They started off with very small market caps. Market cap has a huge play here. It's why something like Cardano and the majority of altcoins have actually outperformed Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's market cap has always been higher. Meaning there's a lot more volume of money needs to come in order to move it. So for it to 2x, 10x, it's far easier for an altcoin to do that than it is something like Bitcoin that now has $1.1 trillion in terms of market cap. 10x is another 9 trillion or another $9.9 trillion to come into this market in order for us to see it 10x, whereas something like Cardano only needs to get to somewhere like Bitcoin in order for it to 10x. So it's a lot more easy for coins with smaller market caps to pump significantly, to go up in higher percentages, because they've already kind of established themselves. It's why you see a lot of these smaller coins do very, very well. In regards with Binance coin, it's kind of on par with your Solanas and your AVAXs in regards to them kind of capturing a lot of hype because they're new. because they start off with small market caps, because they only really had Binance Smart Chain, which is part of the Binance coin, recently. So that's kind of added a whole extra layer of capabilities. They also have a burn which took place recently, which is one reason they've done so well. Cardano doesn't have any of that. It also has quite a lot of negative media attention, and it certainly isn't tied to a big exchange like Binance, which pushes it very heavily. And it's kept up with that. You've got coins like Solana, which, like I say, due to them being new, have done very well. You've got coins like XRP, which have underperformed. POLKADOT, which has underperformed year to date in regards to Cardano. Dogecoin, we all know the story with that. Uniswap, Chainlink. What I'm showing you here is that there's a bit of a trend at play here. You know, Bitcoin Cash, Algorand. It's only really the new coins that have done these great big massive percentages and really established themselves within the market. Whereas coins that have been here, certainly in 2017 when Cardano was released, Ethereum was way before that, Bitcoin obviously before that. The coins that have been in and out of the bear markets and haven't got that kind of new kid on the block hype have actually not done that well in regards to Cardano. You're seeing coins do exceptionally well today, really based on a lot of the time them being new and having small market caps, and there's a real value proposition, a real ROI potential there, return on investment. And that's one thing that's going on. And in regards to recently why Cardano is potentially not doing what other coins are, it has a lot to do with the hard fork and the kind of hype. It's almost like a premature run-up from what it would naturally do as being a part of the crypto space. And you always get these periods of consolidation and this sideways action after a hard fork. And this one really wasn't going to be much different. We should have thought about that in a lot more detail on the channel. You live and learn. We're not perfect. We don't get everything, every call 100% right. One thing that we've got spot on, guys, and those of you who've been watching me from the dawn of the channel will know that the direction of this market we've called 100% accurate. And some of the coins in it, I mean, Cardano's done extremely well for me. I mean, a year to date, it's done exceptionally well. And what I want to do is switch this to a bigger time frame. So recently it is underperforming. There's no doubt about that. And it's really has quite a lot to do with it potentially not being a new kid on the block. And obviously the hard fork has the kind of premature hype that goes into it. And then you get a kind of hype die off, if you will. And also the fact that Cardano has been maintained number 3, it's now number 4 with the rise of Binance coin recently. Maintained where it is today with very, very negative media slant on it. There's a lot of whenever I listen to any of the big influencers talk about crypto, talk about smart contract blockchains, talk about blockchains with that kind of capability, they will never mention Cardano. They will go out of their way. They'll go outside the top 100 to not mention it. And where it is today is a real testimony of its strength. So I hope that's answering some of the questions. You know, one reason you're not seeing it do what Solana's doing, what Terra's doing. Terra's done amazing. Avalanche, Polygon, because these are new kids to the block. You know, they started off with a very small market cap. Their launches have only really coincided recently. So that has a lot to do with it, and why it's not returned made the kind of similar returns. But there are also, like I say, fundamentals. Certainly at the moment, the hard fork's a big one. But one thing that is apparent, I mean, is Cardano has done exceptionally well. I mean, it really has. This is the kind of long term since we started the bear market for Cardano. I mean, even today, guys, and you're up 11,000%. It's done exceptionally well. I mean, it went from all the way here down at 2 cents all the way up to $3.12, and you're going to see that again. You guys know we've got high hopes for Cardano. So that's really what I wanted to show you. You know, it has underperformed, but in the kind of bigger grand scheme of things, it's actually not. The reason it's cooling off at the moment has a lot to do with the hard fork and the hype and the kind of letdown of the hype, the releasing of that kind of buy pressure, and people selling after it. Lots of people will buy the run up to the hard fork and actually sell the hard fork, or sell into the hard fork. And in the grand scheme of things, guys, this is what Cardano's done. It's had a run. It's having a pullback. You've seen this time and time again. You're going to see it again with Cardano, ultimately setting up for the next move. And right now, in my opinion, is not a bad time to buy Cardano at all. Certainly historically, that's true, but that's for tomorrow's video. So I hope this is answering some questions. One thing, and I do think coins like Solana, we're not hating on anything like Solana or Avalanche or Terra. Terra I have a few issues with on a blockchain technical level. but we'll cover that potentially in another video. But we actually own Solana, and we actually own a bit of Avalanche. The reason for me getting Solana was because obviously you guys know that I trade on the FTX exchange, and they are big, heavy promoters of Solana. So, you know, in the grand scheme of things, Cardano's doing just fine. It's underperforming at the moment, but its time will come, and this is a big factor, this hard fork. And it's actually done very, very well in the grand scheme of things. And what I want to do quickly, I'll have to change this back. You know, it's market cap does also play a big play when you see these crazy percentages for things like Solana and Avalanche. They've gone from very small, and Polygon, they've gone from very small market caps to a lot, and people know that and will capitalize on that, and they'll know that there's a lot more, you know, for, like I say, Bitcoin's go up 10x, it's a nearly $11 trillion market cap. For Cardano to 10x, it's a $700 billion market cap. For a coin, a new kid on the block like Tezos to 10x, it's only a $50 billion market cap. You've got coins there today, so they can do a lot more in terms of percentages due to the fact they have small market caps. You know, certainly we're seeing that at the moment. We know Binance Coin is doing very well. That's due to a number of things like the burn, etc., etc. But Cardano's time is coming, guys, and I don't want people getting shaken out. You know, and coins like Solana, I mean, they only really launched certainly on exchanges last year in April. So they're the new kids on the block. They take a little while to get kind of notoriety. Avalanche, I should have brought up Terra. Whereas if you look at something like Ethereum, you know, from the lows of the bull market or the bear market, you know, you're only up 4,221%, whereas Cardano's outperformed that. So it's done very well. Time in the game is always the way to win in crypto. Trading is not it. You know, skin in the game, finding a project that's of real value is how you win in regards to crypto. And what I want to do very quickly is show you a historical snapshot of back in 2017, just before everything kind of went pear-shaped. So we'll do the 31st of December 2017. Take a look at this. This is a historical snapshot. Now, you do have some coins that are, of course, you know, Bitcoin Cash, of course, coin like Cardano is now well above that, and this is why I'm such a fan of Cardano, because it withstood the test of time. It's withstood the bear market. Whereas if you look at many of these coins, many of you guys probably haven't even heard of them. I mean, IOTA is kind of a more notable one. NEM, Dash, Monero, you know, EOS was huge back in 2017. Neo, Quant, Verge. I think Verge is even outside the top 100 now. Bitcoin Gold. We all know this one here. Nano, List, Omise Go, Icon. Many of you probably have never even heard of these projects. And this is the important thing with being invested in something like Cardano. It's withstood the test of time. And if we look in the grand scheme of things, in retrospect with other coins that have also done that, and we're here in 2017, it's actually outperformed a lot of them. The only things it's not outperforming are your meme coins, for obvious reasons. And of course your new kids on the block that started off with very small market caps and have accrued a lot in a little bit of time and had the right kind of backing. So that's really the video that I have for you. I hope that's put some of your minds at ease. I right there with you guys as a Cardano holder, somebody who's got a large part of my portfolio in Cardano. I can understand the frustration, but Cardano's time is coming, and the main fundamental reason, we've looked at this in other videos, is because you have the hard fork here. And this always causes a period of consolidation. And after this consolidation, you know, the hype, things start to kind of pick up. But the run up in regards to hype, it's kind of like a premature from you know, the natural progression that Cardano's price potentially would take. So that's really all I have for you in this video, guys. Hang in there, it's coming. We're not going to be underperforming for long, I believe. We are going to actually come to a period where we outperform, certainly Bitcoin and Ethereum. You know, we know that Bitcoin runs first and then your altcoins kind of follow. And you're seeing that, you know, Bitcoin's done more, certainly on a 30-day, in the 30-day recovery, dominance went up, etc., etc. Now you're seeing your altcoins start to catch up. Of course, Shiba's just going through the moon, going through the roof. So that's really all I have for you guys. I'm going to love and leave you on this Sunday. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Just kind of a bit of an ad hoc video where we were talking about a number of things and kind of asking and answering the question. You know, why is Cardano underperforming? And there's a number of reasons. There's reasons I've actually not even spoken about, but we're going to leave it for that. I hope that's given you some sort of an idea I'm going to love and leave you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next YouTube video. Remember, we do have a stake pool, the All-In stake pool, the All-In Crypto official stake pool. We want to get to the point where we're going to start minting blocks. The ticker is All-In if you're on Yoroi or Deadless. And that's all I have, guys. I'll see you in the next YouTube video. Thank you very much for watching.